Good morning, dear friends. I'm here to extend a warm welcome to the distinguished guests, delegates, and the well-wishers of the Faculty Development Program organized by the Department of Mechanical Engineering, Jyoti Engineering College, Thrissur, in association with SI India and Kisha Research and Education Trust, Bangalore. This FDP stressed the importance on recent trends in product development. I take this opportunity to introduce you to a renowned personality, Dr. V. Shivaraman. He is associated with Department of Mechanical Engineering, EGS Pillai Engineering College, Nagapattinam, as a Director, Industry Institute Relation. He received his master degree from NIT Trichy and PhD from IIT Madras. He is also director of Sri Vijayam Fiber Boards, a spin-off company from EGS PC, technical advisor of Multimedia University Malaysia, technical advisor of Southeastern University of Sri Lanka, consultant for Aditya Birla Science and Technology. He published 15 research articles in Scopus and 3 commercial successful patents. Without much introduction, we extend warm welcome in the name of this assembly and the prestigious institution, Jyoti Engineering College, Thrissur. The success of this program is the enthusiasm of the active participation of the delegates. We extend a warm welcome to all the delegates assembled here. Welcome all. I hand over the session to Dr. Shivaraman sir.
Yes. So, good morning to everyone. I thank you for the opportunity by Jyoti Engineering College, the management and the faculty members. Thank you for the introduction. Now let's move on to the today's yes. Today I will just cover some of the basic aspects of 3D plastic printing. I will also provide you some of the industrial applications and some of the fundamental concepts related to 3D plastic printing. Now the technology is moved to metal 3D printing, but a large potential is still there for plastic printing. Most of the people in industry, obviously. I will show here the additive manufacturing market. This is the report created by Thyssen Group, an European-based company for Asian market. This is since this is for Asian market, India is not included. Of course, the output will be 3 times equivalent to the Asian market if we implement in India. Additive manufacturing has the potential to create 3 to 4 million jobs by 2030 and will reduce overall imports from other countries. This is the prediction by Thyssen Group for Asian countries. For India, the same thing is applicable. We will focus on and plastic technologies exclusively for customers in marine and offshore Hello? Hello? Hello?
Sir, it's audible, sir.
Can you see my presentation?
No, sir.
Slides, okay? Can you see my slides?
No, sir, no, sir.
So now, okay? Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. So in which slide? Uh,
Sir, actually, the presenter voice is breaking. Now it's not audible.
No, nothing is hearing, sir.
can you see the slide? Now? Once again, window.
Some problem still, sir.
Now, okay?
No, sir.
Coming? Okay.
Sir, visible.
Okay.
Visible,
Shall I
sir.
continue? Okay. Shall I continue?
Yes, sir, please.
Thank you. Bye. Sorry for the break. It was happened due to poor internet facility. And let me once again quickly go through what I explained in the last few slides. And this slide, what you are seeing is a report given by Tyson Group for Asian countries, and it is predicted that additive manufacturing is going to generate 100 billion economic value and will create 4 million jobs. And additive manufacturing has the potential to create 3 to 4 million jobs by 2030 and will reduce overall imports. In this Asian ASEAN group, India is not included. Of course, India is not included by the Tyson Group. But the same report is valid for India also. By 2025 to 2030, around the same growth, 50% growth will happen as seen in the Asian market. Additive Manufacturing Hub in India will focus on innovations around additive manufacturing solutions in metal and plastic technologies for customers in marine and offshore and automotive and cement industries, chemical, mining, and other heavy industries. And as I explained earlier, I will just quickly go through what is 3D printing. There is still a confusion exists between 3D printing and additive manufacturing. If you Google it, it will come as both are same. But there is a distinct difference between 3D printing and additive manufacturing. Basically, 3D printing is a process of building an object layer by layer. And when I say layer by layer, the layer thickness can be controlled digitally by means of a 3D model. Since it is fundamentally an additive rather than separative, the other name is called as additive manufacturing. So ASTM F42 defines 7 different additive manufacturing processes. I will tell you what are those 7 manufacturing processes. And this additive manufacturing is just an industrial version of 3D printing. And in a nutshell, if I want to differentiate between 3D printing and additive manufacturing, 3D printing is a term for the shop and factory floor, whereas additive manufacturing is for an enterprise and supply chain. Now I will tell you what are the ASTM F42. As per that standard, there are 7 different additive manufacturing processes. What are those 7 processes? One is wet photopolymerization. Number 2 is material jetting. And number 3 is binder jetting. Number 4 is material extrusion. In this material extrusion, fused deposition modeling and fused filament fabrications are 2 techniques to extrude the materials. And number 5 is powder bed fusion. And 6 is sheet lamination. 7 is directed energy deposition. In this presentation, I will just cover fused deposition modeling under material extrusion. I made this presentation for beginners, those who want to enter into the plastic 3D manufacturing area for business as well as academic purpose. If you are keen in interested in business and doing some consultancy, if you follow my presentation, at the end you will come to know how the 3D printing machine, basically a plastic 3D printing machine, is working and how to assemble it, right? So here I described about the benefits of 3D printing for industrial goods, and one of the positive aspect of 3D printing is design complexity. Any changes can be made in the design and can be printed at any point of time, which is not possible in conventional manufacturing process. Since this printer require no tooling, and it bypassing the time-consuming and costly tooling process, it shorter the lead times. And complex geometries can be produced, which is not possible by conventional machining process. And what are the complex geometries that I am going to discuss with you in the coming slides? And the biggest advantage is on-demand production. And if you want to produce a component, comes to your idea, comes to your mind, you can produce the component within 1 or 2 hours based on the design criteria. So that is the reason why on-demand production, any number of new model of manufacturing parts can be produced on demand. If you compare the 3D printing versus the traditional manufacturing, 4 factors you need to consider. One is cost, design, speed, and quality. For 3D printing, in terms of cost, 70% you can save, whereas it is higher for traditional, and also shipping also you have to take into account. If you consider the design aspect, it is less expensive 3D, whereas it is more expensive for traditional. If you consider the speed of manufacturing the product, it is more for traditional and it is less for 3D. Need to compress the design cycle. In terms of quality, still there are problem which comes out of quality, but with the latest printer available in the market, we are getting high precision products compared to traditional one. In traditional one, get a high precision manufacturing. And here you are just seeing additive manufacturing for end-use products. And what you are seeing here is in terms of percentage, they divided the common elements or functional parts, fit and assembly, patterns for prototype tooling, patterns for metal casting, visual aids, presentation models, educational research, tooling components, and others. If you look at, this is the report given by Wohlers in 2014, and still it is valid with plus or minus 10% variation. And this 3D printing or additive manufacturing is mostly used for functional parts, almost 30 to 40%. And as I said earlier, slowly but surely 3D printing has been transitioning from a method of producing visual aids and prototypes to a technology that is capable of manufacturing end-use parts. While 3D printing is still viewed by someone as being used primarily to produce models and trinkets, the reality is that additive manufacturing is now being used for functional parts in a variety of industries, as you've seen here in this slide. The widespread adoption of 3D printing is most visible in the aerospace and automotive sectors, as you've seen here, with the 8 to 10% contribution. These were some of the first industries to adopt 3D printing for end-use parts in the first place, and they have the most accumulated experience also. The ability for additive technologies to produce single lightweight pieces with complex internal geometries is particularly valuable for these industries. And technologies like fused deposition modeling allow for parts to be printed using materials that are nearly or completely identical to production grade materials used in conventional manufacturing processes. Because of these advantages, 3D printing is liked by everyone. And recently, carbon fiber 3D printing is expanding horizons for the automotive and the aerospace industries. One of the most fascinating developments in 3D printing has been the development of bio-based material for use in the medical industries. And still, FDA needs to approve those medical applications. And there are machines to print bio 3D machine by name 3D print stem cells, artificial blood vessels, and even miniature organs for testing vaccines are able to print with the help of 3D stem cells, 3D bioprinter. So this is the ASTM F42 standards, which deals with main important 5 process. One is AM process and equipment standards, and application specific standards for aerospace, automation, automotive, and medical. And feedstock material standard, what are the type of material powders you can use, what are the polymer filaments you can use, and finished AM part standards, what are the techniques available for post-processing, NDT, etc. And also general standards they are giving, AM terminology, testing methods, safety, what are the safety precautions we need to take. You please go through this standard very carefully. So here for beginners, I would like to fundamentally tell what is subtractive machining, what is additive manufacturing. In subtractive manufacturing, so what you are seeing here in the left hand top side is a block, and it is milled by a milling machine or drilled by a drill tool. What is happening is from a block, a material is removed. So in the next figure, you can able to see chips are coming out when the machining is happening. So that is the reason why it is called as material removing process or material removing machining, or others are subtracted or otherwise called as removed to make the component or product. So in a classic example, you can see at the bottom side an impeller which manufactured through forging process. Like I said earlier, a block is forged into a model which is seen at the bottom left, and then after with the help of the 5-axis machining, the impeller shape is formed, and then the final is the impeller ready for turbocharger. So if you carefully look at, there are two pre-machining process, and the final process when the product is ready, it is heat treated and fine finished with the help of precision tool. If you look at carefully, you need to have a different machining process to come out a product like an impeller at the end. The process sequence can be nullified or can be reduced for 3D printing. I'll show you in the next coming slides. So in a nutshell, in what is happening in subtractive manufacturing, a block is there. If you want to remove a material like this, so you have to remove. So that is why the reason it is called a subtractive manufacturing. On the other hand, on the left side, you are seeing what you are seeing is additive manufacturing. The material is added layer by layer. So this one part is called as one layer. So in this particular block, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9 layers formed to make a desired component. So with the help of 3D printing or additive manufacturing, you can even able to make a sphere. And as I said earlier, complex geometry, a typical 3D printer hollow ball in white color is shown here. It is a very, very difficult process with the help of conventional machining, whereas without wasting material, it is possible in 3D printing. On the right hand side, you can see the tower, which is printed by a plastic 3D printer. If you go for conventional, it's highly impossible. And if it is possible, but it will take more time. Yeah, this is one of the classic example. And so the latest development also, printing of PET bottles. If you look at this slide carefully, there are 3 water bottle companies I showed, Kinley, Bisleri and Aquafina. All 3 are 1 liter bottles or 2 liter bottles, whatever may be the case. And if you want to design a bottle for your own company, say for example, forget about these 3 big players. So you are going to manufacture a product for a company who requires a PET bottle. So it's an abstract idea which comes to your mind. If you want to make this bottle visible or as a product, you need to spend minimum 1 lakh rupees for 40,000 to 50,000 rupees for preparing the dye, and the remaining amount will be for trial and error with the help of injection molding. So to see a product on your hand, a bottle on your hand, plastic bottle, you need to spend minimum 1 lakh rupees. If you have a 3D printer, you can print the same bottle within 1 hour with a nominal price of 2,000 to 5,000 rupees. 1 liter or 2 liter bottle. So that is the biggest advantage. And once if you produce the bottle, and you can make any number of design changes on the bottle. It should not be a copy of Kinley, Bisleri and Aquafina. You can make any number of changes in the design and you can print within 1 or 2 hours, which is not possible in conventional or dye process. So as you all know, there are PET wires are available now in market, which is polyethylene tetrahydrolate. It's like a polyester, and with the help of that, you can even print juice bottles. So the only constraint is whether we can go for industrial production or in large number. So if you want to go for a large number of productions for 10,000 or 50,000, we have to work it out. And these are all some of the complex design which is possible with the help of 3D printing. And recently, this ring design is most popular particularly in the Indian jewelry industry. I will exclusively cover in one slide about this ring design process. One classic example is snake design, which is absolutely not possible with the help of conventional, and it is possible with a technically sound people. It will take a lot of time and cost. And this is another example, but this is not a plastic. Just I am showing this to the participants. Just you can make a similar kind of complicated objects. You can make with the help of 3D plastic printer also. This is for Enconal 625 exhaust manifold for Porsche automobile. And in a nutshell, I have shown here again the fundamental process. On the right hand top corner, you can see a component which is machined by tooling technique. If you want to make a component like this, you have to follow a minimum of 8 processes. Those processes are facing, turning, turning, form turning, chamfering, threading, boring, drilling, and knurling. If you go for 3D printing, you can simply reject all these processes. You don't know all these processes for 3D printing. You can print layer by layer the exact shape of the component which is shown at the right hand top corner. And the complex geometries, like I said earlier, the impeller can be done with the help of 3D printing, which can be done with conventional machining only by use of 5-axis machining. So, in a nutshell, at this point of time, you should able to know what is 3D printing. As I said earlier, it quickly converts an abstract idea into a physical project. So what do you mean by that abstract idea? Any idea which comes to your mind. Say, for example, I quoted earlier this. If you have an idea to make a PET bottle, which comes to your mind, what you have to do next? First, that idea, abstract idea, what you got in your mind, you have to make a 3D model with the help of a 3D software. Okay. From the 3D model, you can give a command to the 3D printer to print the abstract idea which comes to your mind, the same PET bottle. Okay. How it is going to happen, that I will tell you in the coming slides. So, in a 3D printing is quickly converts an abstract idea into a physical object, and it's a fast prototyping. If you want to see the prototype of the idea which forms to your mind, you can go and take the help of 3D printer. And as of now, it's for small scale production, and it can create objects that are difficult, or we can say impossible by any other way, conventional. We can able to produce with the help of 3D printer. And here some of the examples, we can able to create any gear systems or any assembly which is required for manufacturing or automobile or aerospace components. So this I discussed earlier, the difference between additive and subtractive. Basically, subtractive removes material, additive just adding layer by layer. And for this, I don't require much time to spend on this. Yeah, this is more important. If you want to print a product in 3D printer, you have to follow this process, 5 important processes. As I said earlier, first you have to, an abstract idea will comes to your mind. First, you have to create a model in a digital software, whatever the abstract idea which comes to your mind. You can use any 3D software which is available in the market. Once if you design the model, you have to convert that into a .stl file. It's a stereo lithographic CAD software 3D system, .stl file. Once if you convert into .stl file, you have to use slicing software. What this slicing software will do, I will tell you in the coming slides. It will just break the model into a number of pieces. That is just like slicing your bread. Your bread, you can slice it in any number of parts. Like that, you have to slice your abstract idea or your product formed in a software, 3D software. You have to slice. Why you have to slice? I will tell you in the coming slide. Once, if you use this slicing software, it breaks the model of the surface into slices, and this slice, from slicing software, we are giving to AM system, additive manufacturing system. From additive manufacturing system, final production will happen. So these 5 are very most important at this point of time. You need to know. One is you have to create a model in a 3D software. Then you have to convert into a .stl file. Then with the help of slicing software, you have to slice that component. And the slicing software will give you a digital. It will make your component into a digital form, and that digital form will be taken care by additive manufacturing system. Finally, the part, whatever you want to produce, will be done at the 3D printer. So there are 2 filaments commonly used in industry as well as academic purpose. One is PLA and another one is ABS. In this PLA, the biggest advantage of this polylactic acid PLA filament is this is non-toxic, and this is bioplastic. It is good for environmental properties. It gives you good smell when heating is happening, and high print speed and resolution is possible. The biggest disadvantage of this is it cools down slowly and low heat resistance. Compared to ABS, this can easily break, and it requires thicker walls than ABS. That is the reason why most of the commercial people will go for ABS plastic. And still the academic people and the students are preferred or requested to use this plastic because of this is biodegradable and it will not harm to your body, right? And the extruded temperature is required is 170 to 220 degrees centigrade, and you have to follow a bed temperature of 20 to 50 degrees centigrade. I will show you in the coming slide what is bed and what is extruded temperature, why it is important. On the other hand, if you look at this ABS, acrylonitrile butadiene styrene. So this required, if you are using this material as a wire, you have to maintain a temperature 215 to 250. Then only you will get an extrusion process will happen in this temperature. Whereas in PLA 170 to 220, you can easily, the solid wire can extrude easily. Whereas in ABS 215 to 250 degrees centigrade is required. One of the basic problem with this ABS is it is petroleum based and non-biodegradable. And once if the heating happens, fumes will come and the product will deteriorate over the period of years or period of months because of sunlight. But on the other hand, when compared to PLA, the biggest advantage is it gives smooth finish. So if you want to show a product to a customer or a student, you have to show the product with good finish, then only people will like. So in that aspect, the ABS is preferred, and it solidifies quickly when compared to PLA, and it is durable and difficult to break also. That is the reason why it is preferred for all kinds of mechanical parts. So I will share here some of the experience, our lab experience in 3D printing. So this is the 3D printer we assembled on our own with the help of an industry from Chennai. And we have not covered this 3D printer just to show to the students what is happening during printing. So if you buy a printer from a company, good company, they will cover this 3D printer, and you will not come to know what is happening inside. Just you have to press the command which comes in the screen, and you have to take out the product. Whereas this kind of printer will show you how the printing is happening. Any mistake happens during printing, you can identify and stop the printer at any point of time. So below our students did with this machine. There are a lot of products they did, just showing here for a sample. First one is ear, headphone. And the next one is for our laboratory, they made this particular mechanical component. So if you want to build a 3D printer, so what you have to know? You have to know what are the components present in this, how it is going to function, what are the hardware part, and how it is, how the printing is happening, what are the functions of every element present in this 3D printer. In the coming slides, I am going to discuss in detail about this 3D printer, plastic printer. If you watch carefully, every academician can make their own 3D printer for their engineering college. No need to buy from the market. Okay, and you can have the feel of, or you can experience the building of 3D printer, and also you can do consultancy work boldly once if you got an experience with this 3D printer making. Yeah, this is called as bed, what you are seeing. If you carefully look at the product, you can see this bed is inclined. Okay, this particular printer can able to make 3D printing of 500 by 500 by 500. That is length 500 mm, breadth 500 mm, height 500 mm. This printer can make, and we assembled at a cost of 1 lakh rupees some 1.5 years back. Now the cost has slowly reduced. You can make at a cost of 80,000 rupees the same printer. If you watch this printer during our training session in our lab, we left this printer during printing, and we came after 4 hours. We found that the bed is inclined, which is a serious problem encountered. Since we assembled on our own, we know how to rectify this problem. Otherwise, if you buy this printer from a company, you have to wait for the company people or engineer to come. It will take hardly 2 or 3 days, and they will rectify the problem. Since we assembled, we rectified the problems, and we printed the material again and again. I will tell you after a few slides why this print bed inclined. Okay, so if you want to know, you have to know all the components. Okay, so this is the anatomy of 3D printer. What you see here, the same thing. There are different components you can able to see. This is the print head, the anatomy of this 3D printer. I am showing you here by focusing the print head. In this print head, you can able to see a nozzle. Through this nozzle only, the filament, either PLA or ABS, will be fused and the material will be built layer by layer, like this, which comes out as a product. So one important thing is cooling fan. You can see here, as you all know, this nozzle will be heated according to the filament melting range. Say for example, if it is ABS, filament will melt around 170 to 180. If it is if it is ABS, it comes around 210 to 220. If it is PLA, it comes around 170 to 180. So your nozzle also must capable to withstand the temperature. Okay, so you have to select the nozzle. Nozzles from 0.5 to 2.5 diameter nozzles are available in the market. And you can see here a fan that is called as a cooling fan. And this blows air over the extruder plastic to cure the print. So this fan is helped to cure the print. Okay, and it also helps to retain the shape. And some of the material may not need this cooling fan. For that material, no need to install this. And the second one is heat sink fan, which is also just beside this fan. That is heat sink fan. It blows air across the heat sink to prevent heat from creeping up the extruder barrel. So what happens sometimes when the material is fused, some creeping will happen because of the change of temperature. So for that, this heat sink fan is helped to prevent the creeping up at the extruder barrel. Heat creep can cause some filaments to swell and jam in the extruder barrel. So because of this, if creeping happens, your entire product will get collapsed. So this is the user interface. You can see in any product. This is an LCD display. In this, you will get information about the print related data. Okay, so what is the printer temperature, how much percentage printing is going to end, several data you can get from this. So adjacent to this user interface, you can able to see D. This is nothing but an SD card. Okay. So why this SD card, I will tell you. So whatever the object you draw on the 3D modeling software. As I said earlier, once if you draw the required product, or once if the modeling done in a 3D software, you have to convert into the .stl file. Once that is conversion happen, you have to send it to the slicing software. In this slicing software, G codes will get generated by taking into account the boundary of the product. So all those G codes will be copied into this card, SD card. So what is the bigger advantage of this 3D printer is, you no need to connect your 3D printer with the modeling software package, computer or laptop. You can do your design in US. You can send the data through internet, or you can do the printing in a different room, the modeling in a different room, and by just copying in a SD card, you just insert that SD card here, the print will happen automatically. So that is the biggest flexibility and advantage. And this one is the belt or cable, which is driven by motors to provide movement in XY axis. So watch it here carefully. For XY movement only, this belt is used. Then obviously question will come, what will happen for Z axis? Lead screw. So for Z axis, lead screw will be used. This is by rotating back and forth, and it is something similar to a threaded rod for freshers I'm telling. But these lead screws are purpose built to provide more accuracy with less chance of backlash or overload. Okay. So for X and Y axis, belt or cable is used. For Z axis, lead screw is used, right? And yeah, stepper motor. This is very famous for all. This is found in everything from RC car to electric automobiles. Stepper motor is used to give a precise movement from sprocket and belt to move the extruder, print bed on the printer. So print bed has to move accurately, precisely, as you've seen in the modeling software. Okay, for that this stepper motor is very helpful. And this hobbed or gear filament drive, what is seen here at G, is a filament gear drive. One interesting fact is in our 3D printer, which we developed, we made this filament drive from the same mother machine. So from the mother machine, we made the filament drive and fit it here. So I will show this at the last also. So we have made our own drive gear and fitted in our own 3D printer. Okay. And this is the print head I told you earlier. This print head always we have to keep it. We have to maintain temperature between 10 to 20 degree, and this we have to prevent warping. Okay. So if you are going to use ABS plastic, you have to heat this print bed. Whereas if you want to use PLA, this heating is not required. Okay. So one of the reason is the product should not fuse together with the bed. That is the reason why print bed always must have some temperature. So this is the filament, as I discussed earlier. PLA and ABS are the two filaments which we can use. You can use this even available in Amazon. You can order through Amazon. It costs around 1,000 rupees and 1,000 to 1,500. In multicolor, it is available. And this filament comes with 1.75 to 2.85 diameter. According to the filament diameter, you have to ready the nozzle size. Okay. And this one is the lead screw I just before explained to you. And this is the power supply. We all know it is a must to convert AC to DC. And this is the motherboard, which is the heart of this 3D printer, which contains microprocessor and other circuitous. And what is the type of motherboard what we are using? I'm coming to cover in the coming slides. Just for an idea, you just see where the motherboard fits. In our machine, the motherboard we fit at the bottom of this place. Okay. Yeah. So this is most important heat sink. As you see here, number 6 is the nozzle. So the PLA or ABS wire will come through this, come through 3, okay, and come out through 6. So obviously you need to heat this nozzle with the help of heat element, okay. And to measure the heat, thermocouple or thermistor is used. You can see at 5. Okay. So what is the heat sink? As we all know, heat sink keeps heat from traveling upward and melting the plastic prematurely. It melt premature. And this heat sink fan we discussed earlier. And this is the most one, PTFE tube, which prevents the heat from traveling up the extruder. So once the filament is coming down, the filament traveling or coming down with the help of this gear, okay, filament drive gear. So this is the filament wheel. So filament will go. This filament drive gear will feed this filament to the nozzle. So this filament drive gear is more important. Okay. So this filament drive gear will feed the filament through this. This PTFE tube will prevent heat from traveling up, because once the heat generated at the nozzle, if it travel beyond this part, what will happen? The filament will melt at the premature stages here itself. So once if the material melt here itself, then you will not get an extrusion process happen at this nozzle end. So all material will jam here. So no printing will happen. So this PTFE help prevents from traveling up the extruder. It prevents the heat travel up. So heat should not travel this path, and this also to help the filament prematurely. Okay, so this is the important thing you need to know. Okay, so as I discussed earlier, this is the slicing software. Okay, what this slicing software will do after converting your model into a .stl file, you have to give that STL file into this slicing software. Okay, what this slicing software will do? This will slice. Say for example, this is your left and top is your design. Okay, your slicing software will slice your design into a multiple part. Okay, so how many parts? If you increase the number of slice, you will get high precise and high accurate dimensional accurate component. Okay, and this design, based on your design, there are so many slicing software available. I will show you next slide. You have to slice the design into multiple parts. So if you look at this sliced part, you will come to know from each sliced part, you will come to know the dimensions. Okay, how much X level, Y level, and Z level. That will be converted into a G code. Okay, so you have to be very carefully listen at this point. Every sliced part you have to take, and every sliced part will have X component, Y component, and Z component. Okay, so those X and Y, Z component, X, Y, and Z component will be taken into account by the slicing software and make that account into a G code. Okay, so basically, the slicing software will convert your .stl file into a G code. After that, the G code is given to the additive manufacturing machine. Okay, so this is how the printing is happening layer by layer. Figure 3 shows. So in the last slide, I mentioned how the Cura is a slicing software. So how it works, this Cura. So Cura will first slice the model layer by layer and generate a G code. So once finished, the G code can be sent to the printer for manufacturing the physical object. Okay, so this slicing software, in fact, all slicing software will create path for a 3D printer to follow primarily. These paths are instructions for geometry, and they tell a 3D printer what speed to print and what layer thickness to adopt. This is very important. Okay, this slicing software will give instructions to the machine what speed to print and what layer thickness to adapt. Okay, even some of the advanced slicing software also takes into account the GD&T, geometrical dimensioning and tolerance part of the component. Okay, so these are all some of the slicing software which is used in the current market. Repetier is commonly used by academicians. Cura, many are there. There are two objects I shown at the bottom. One is with the help of Slice3R, is a slicing software. Another one is Cura. So I'm not here to promote any software. Just for the sake of experience, I'm showing this picture. This is old. Okay. So both are looking like old. Okay, perfect. So what is, if you look at carefully, you can able to make any difference. You just see both the picture. Can you make any difference in the final product? So one of the key aspect to look into the whole is the eye and nose. Okay, those two are most important. In slice 3R, you can't able to see the eyes as clear as Cura. Okay, if you look at, and also the nose part. Okay. So you have to select carefully the slicing software. Okay, so that also comes. Many of the companies marketing the big players who are all big players in Indian market. They supply their own software. Sometimes this software are available in free of cost, and you have to experience by applying by using different slicing software. Then only you will come to know which one is best. So this Octoprint is also a slicing software. Any slicing software, you will get information during printing. It will tell you what is the print time balance, how much print time left, how much time it took the print to the current product, and how much height over, and how much height yet to finish. Like this, how much print time left also, it will show you. This is the biggest advantage of using this slicing software. All this information are available in every slicing software. Okay. Yeah, this is like hardware for computer or laptop. We used to name here as firmware. Okay. So Merlin is an optimized firmware for 3D printer based on Arduino platform. If you want to make a 3D printer, you can easily use this available Merlin with the Arduino platform. Many commercial printers are Merlin installed, for your information. Okay, this RAMs 1.4. You can just Google this, so you'll get many information. Okay, it's a 3D printer controller board, and this is the basic thing you need to know. And some of the applications I'm going to cover now is the dental application. And many of the dentists are using this 3D printer to print it takes impression of the, in generally what happens, we used to take impression of the patient's mouth and create plaster models. And we create a digital scan of the plaster model once the model done in the plaster. So with the help of the software, we have to make the design modification, and then we have to give the print, and it will be fixed on the patient mouth, and they will check. Okay. Some recent technologies, they come out with open resin platform to print the teeth and the base separately. Previously, both the teeth and base built together. Now, both the teeth and base are printed separately, and then they are fused together to join together. Okay. And there are a lot of applications. Special purpose machines are also now available for dentistry applications. In traditional methods for denture productions are extremely costly. Okay. And involve long wait times for fabrication and shipping. Okay, so because of that, only these 3D printers, denture 3D printers are come out, and this uses open certified resin system. You can able to print FDA cleared or biocompatible digital denture without relying on hand fabrication and expensive materials. What is the advantage is before 3D printing, the cost of dentures prohibited such acts of philanthropy. Okay, it simply wouldn't be financially viable to offer a free set of dentures. Even the advent of milk denture parts which reduce the cost and wait times. Right. So this is for jewelry applications. As I said earlier, I exclusively cover this jewelry application. I just copied this image from Formlab, from their websites. So 3D printing has revolutionized how jewelry is made. Uniqueness, precision, and alterations required to detail are the key aspects of quality jewelry, and this is exactly where 3D printing shines. Okay, so don't think that you can directly print your gold or diamond or any rare component can be printed like a ring. Directly, it is not possible. 3D printing jewelry doesn't mean directly producing induced pieces of jewelry. Okay. So, what jeweler often 3D print highly detailed wax models of the desired rings, which are later used to make molds. Okay. So, the desired ring, and then, as I said earlier, we have to model the desired ring on a 3D platform and then export a model as a file. Once the model is created, the mold material is poured. Once the mold hardens, with the help of a oven, to melt the mold or burn out the rings and connector structures. Okay. This is slightly a tedious process, but many of the major jewelry company are using now this 3D printer to create multiple design to satisfy their customers, right? Yeah. This is one of the classic example. I just made this courtesy to Mr. Ramanan, who is working in our institution as a technical instructor. So we made this. This is an ongoing project in our laboratory for a particular private company. They gave this project. This is a voice recognition arm for physically challenged. If you say, if you command through your voice, just close your forefinger and the middle finger, it will close. Okay. Just if you give a command, raise only your middle finger, it will raise. Other fingers will get closed. So this is a trial and error method. This is not printed in our laboratory. We outsourced, and this material used is PLA. And this is still the project not completed. We fit motor to control the palm and the finger. Okay, you can able to see here in this slide how the fingers are made with the flexible type with the help of a 3D printer. Okay. Yeah, this is one more classic example. For our laboratory, we build our own 3D 6-axis arm for robotic applications with the help of ABS plastic. Okay, just all the axes are made and assembled. Okay, even every faculty member can try for your own laboratory. Yeah. So with respect to COVID, I have to say a few things about this wall. Okay, on the right hand side, you can able to see the original plastic wall, and the right hand picture you could able to see the original and the 3D printed wall. Okay, so during this COVID-19, there was a biggest shortage in France and Italy for this wall. Okay, so even if you want to print the same wall in your laboratory, I have the .stl file. If you require, I can send. You can print the same thing in your laboratory also. Okay, so this is made by polymer laser powder based fusion process, not by the process which I discussed earlier. And this wall, this 3D printing helped to save lives during COVID-19 pandemic, and still it is saving. The requirement comes because the supplier unable to source replacement wall for a reanimation device. Okay, and coronavirus is putting strain on a number of people requiring intensive care and oxygenation in order to live through the infection long enough for their antibodies to fight it. Okay, so this means that the best way to save life or lives other than prevention is to have as many machines working as possible, animations through as many machines working as possible. As this virus inevitably continues to spread worldwide, the ingenuity and design skill of people coupled with technologies such as 3D printing can play a vital role in helping these around us, in helping those around us who need it most. Okay. And face shield, commonly used, even you have seen IIT Madras and many technical institutes, they come out with this face shield products. Even I have this .stl file. If anyone wants, I can send. They can print on their own in their own laboratory, and they can supply with the same face shield to the local people or frontline workers. Okay. And the wall thickness can be varied based on the nozzle size. 0.4 to 1.2 mm nozzles preferred to build this wall thickness, and the layer height is 0.4 or 0.8 mm can be used. Okay. Yeah. This is the Venturi wall, what you've seen earlier. And this Venturi wall walls help for the coronavirus affected people, not only coronavirus, those who require to supply oxygen to the patients. Okay. So every color wall indicates the oxygen level. Say for example, green indicates 60% oxygen, 2%. So based on that, we have to design the wall, and the same thing can be happen with the available 3D printer available in our laboratory. The comprehensive range are shown from 24 to 60% oxygen level. So each individual Venturi walls are different. These are designed to meet the requirements of BSEN and are color coded for easy identification. Say for example, if it's oxygen, they have to prefer this look. And so this is the Venturi wall and mask kit, how it functions during the patient. Yeah. So this is another classic example, face mask or respirator style. This can also be prepared with the help of 3D printer. This credit goes to the copper 3D. Okay. What the studies shown that copper destroys the replication and propagation abilities of SARS, MERS, and even any respiratory viruses. Okay. So by taking into account this copper 3D is a company, they have developed a respirator style where copper and copper alloys can also eliminate pathogenic organisms such as bacterial strains, coronavirus, influenza virus, fungi after a short period of exposure. Okay. This copper 3D come out with this copper 3D respiratory style face mask uses nano copper additive, works as an antimicrobial agent. This is reusable, washable, and recyclable. This novel filtration system designed by copper 3D includes multiple layers with different geometries to provide an effective fine particles filtration. Okay, you can able to see here some filtration particles also there in between this plastic component, and these are all to provide an in a nutshell, to provide an effective fine particle filtration, and included the copper nanocomposite that has been lab proven to deactivate viruses. Okay, but how far it is, whether it is FDA approved or not, I'm not sure about that. But in their website they showed it is approved, and it's not available in India as of now. And in addition to nano copper system, the filtration system also has some sponges, clothing or textiles. As you know, here these two are the sponges, and used for filtering the foreign particles not to enter your mouth. Okay. Yeah. So with this, I end my presentation. I thank all the participants for listening. I hope I have given some inputs related to the 3D printing fundamentals, and there are a lot of things to cover in advanced level. I made this presentation particularly for the beginners and also those who want to enter into this field. Say, for example, as you've seen in the previous slide, this copper 3D, this material is not available, this technology. That is novel filtration system designed by copper 3D, which uses a nano copper system. Okay? Even if some of the institute or any research laboratory, if they want to try a similar nano copper system, they can try. Okay. There are a lot of research opportunities and consultancy works can be done with the help of basic 3D printers, not to go for a hi-fi one. With this, I end my presentation. Any questions, I welcome to answer. And I thank all the participants for listening. I thank the organizer. And my special thanks goes to Dr. Biju, who is heading the mechanical engineering department, also a professor, for inviting me to present some of the fundamentals for the participants here. I thank once again to him. If there are any questions, I'm ready to answer. Can you hear? Hello? Hello?
Hello.
Hello? Yes, sir. Hello?
Sir, myself Harmony, Dr. Harmony. Hello, sir. Hello, sir.
Yes, sir. Please.
Hello, sir. Myself, Dr. Harmony, working as a professor in the Department of Mechanical Engineering from KSR IET Richangod. I need your phone number and email ID, sir.
Yes, sir. I will give it to the coordinators. I think they will email you. Okay. You please send your.
For the purpose of AICT Atal program, sir.
Pardon?
For the purpose of
Okay.
AICT Atal program, sir. 3D printing and design.
Okay. Okay, sir. Well, you need my contact number or email, sir?
Yes, sir. Contact number and also the email ID, sir.
Okay. How can I share? Can I share now or?
Okay, sir. Sir, no problem.
Yeah, 98434
1 minute, sir.
73434.
Sir, 98
434
434
73434.
73434, sir.
Yes, sir.
9843473434.
Yes, sir. And my contact email is iitmvs@gmail.com.
IITM
vs@gmail.com.
Gmail.
And my contact is available with the coordinator, Dr. Biju, also. Okay. If you find any difficult, you can also help me, sir.
Okay, sir. Later on to contact, sir. No problem.
Yeah, please. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Any questions, sir, from your side? From the coordinators?
Any questions from?
Yes, sir, please. Hello?
Hello, sir.
Hello.
Sir, I have a doubt. It's
Yes,
like
sir.
nowadays the microfluid and micro scale chips and all that things is booming up. So, what is the
Okay.
scope of 3D printing in micro devices,
Sir,
like microchips, lab-on-chip devices like that?
yeah, there are a lot of opportunities available, sir. And I have seen a few machines when I went to Singapore in 3D print laboratory, that NTU laboratory I have seen. But the machines are quite costly, which comes around 20 to 25 lakhs. And I don't have much knowledge on chip manufacturing. But I have some data and related materials with me. But those chips and other things cannot be made with the help of whatever the machine we made for our purpose. That is made only for with the help of PLA and ABS to create a simple product. Only we have done. Your question is about the chip manufacturing. Yes,
Yes,
there
sir.
are. Yeah, yes, there are machines available, and R&D is also going on. Maybe I can share some of the materials available with me, but I don't know exactly what is happening there, sir.
Okay, sir. So in that case, I will contact you through mail.
Yeah, please. Yeah, sure, sir.
So,
Maybe
sir,
I can ask one of my friend who is supplying the machines to the industries. Okay.
okay.
Yeah, you will get more knowledge.
Okay,
Yeah.
sir, can you name that university or the institute where you visited in the Singapore?
NTU.
NTU.
Yeah, if you type NTU 3D laboratory, they have exclusive 3D building, exclusive research laboratory for 3D printing. Okay,
Okay.
and you can get more information also, sir.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
But hello.
Hello. Thank you, sir.
Sir, yeah, if you want more data, Taiwan group of people are doing more, sir.
Okay.
Okay.
Anyway, I will contact you, sir, through mail.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other?
Any other questions?
Yeah, whether Dr. Biju is available?
Any other questions?
Yeah, if there are no more questions, then we can wind up. Yes.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Respected Dr. Sivaraman sir and friends, the session delivered by Dr. Sivaraman sir was exploring the details of new trends in industry. I take this opportunity to express our gratitude to the resource person. As a token of love and gratitude, I request this eminent personality to accept our sincere words of thank you. Thank you, dear sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Thank you for your support, sir. Also, we express a word of thank you to all the delegates of this session. Thank you very much. Tomorrow's session will be handled by Mr. Joseph V.A. and Mr. Shiju George, Kisha Research and Education Trust, Bangalore.